Unmute. There we go. Welcome, everybody. Lorelea Roberts here from Offerings of Wonder by Lorelea. Happy Monday. Welcome to Monday Meetup. We are here today. We are going to be making this little plant holder. Let me get my plant here. Show you what we're going to be doing. Well, let me show you before I put the plant back in it. So, yeah. Get the string here. So our plant holder consists of 3 rings, and let me just get there we go, get my string there. So 3 rings. We have a smaller ring that's going to fit our pot, and then 2 rings that are a little bit larger. And we're going to just put our plant inside there. And there we go. So great for little hanging plants. And that is what we're going to be making today. So I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. Let's talk about the materials that you need. So I put that there. And to make this, we are going to make 3 rings. So you need 3 pieces of round reed that is about 6 feet. So that's my about there. And let's see, this one I did with number 3. The one I'm going to do today is with this. This is labeled number 3, but when I really measured it with, our little measuring guide here. Hey, Denise, welcome. When I measured it with our measuring guide, it was a tight 3 or a loose 4, so somewhere between 3 and 4. So we need 3 pieces of the round reed, and then we need 3 pieces. I used cane, or you could use some small sized reed, either flat or flat oval to do that. And then you're going to need 3 zip ties to kind of hold things in place when we get started. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to throw all my materials in the water. And get my cane in there. Get this in here. Plant here. I'm going to put all these 3 pieces in. You want your reed to be flexible. So, it needs to be wet enough so that we can twist it around each other. So let me pin this for a moment. And spotlight, there we go. Okay, so let's just talk about, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to do. We're going to first make our bottom ring. That's the ring that will, I'm going to put it upside down, but that will fit around our pot. So you need your pot for whatever you're making. And if you don't have a pot, then just kind of guess in a size. Let me see. Where did I stick money? There we go. Get my tape measure here. So let's see, this ring ended up being about 3.5 inches going across there. Yeah, about 3.5 inches. And my pot on the bottom, or let me go across the top, is about 4 inches. So I measure across the top of this, it's about 4 inches. Our ring ended up being about 3.5 inches, so it's going to set a little bit down in there. So we have that. And then I just use some fishing line to tie, but you can decide what you want to hang it with. So you could use twine, you could use fishing line, you could use yarn, suede, whatever matches your colors and decor. So, all right, so let's put that down there. Let me remove the spotlight here. I'm going to put the spotlight on the table. Denise, are you weaving with me today?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. All right. So let me spotlight the table here. Okay. So first
Am I
thing
the only one weaving with you?
you are.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You're my special guest today, Denise.
All right. Boy, don't hold me to that. That's kind of a high standard. Wait a minute.
Okay, so so the first thing we're going to do, so I have a piece that's about, I said it's about 6 foot, and the first thing we're going to do is make this bottom ring, the piece that's going to go around our pot. So I have my little pot here, and all I'm going to do is kind of get an idea on size. So I'm just kind of measuring it around the pot, and then I'll pull the pot off. All right. So I have a circle, and I said my other one ended up being about 3.5 inches. So let's see. So that's, if I go across, it's about 3.5 inches. So that's good. All right. So we're going to take it, and what we're going to do is just make these rings. So I've got an end sticking out here, and I'm just going to take the piece. I've got it, it kind of went over. So let me come up nice and close so you can see that. All right. And now we're just going to wrap it around itself. So I'm going to pull it in. Oops. Yeah, I didn't let that soak long enough. Let me, let's try that again. All right, that feels better. All right, so let's try that again. We will measure around our pot. There we go. Okay. Get an idea on the size. And let's try that again. So we're gonna take, let me do it from the end here. I'm gonna take my end, and I'm gonna go over the top, and then from the bottom up through the middle and pull it through. Okay. And I'm just gonna turn it a little bit, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go from the bottom up, pull it, and turn. So what we're doing is we're just wrapping around itself. Okay. If you've seen my tension trivet Christmas ornaments, this is the same thing. A lot of times what I'll do with leftover round reed is I'll just make these rings and throw them in a thing, and then when I'm ready to make Christmas ornaments, I pull them out. Okay, so now I'm back to the beginning. So I'm going to just continue to follow. So let me just come up really close. So here you can see the yellow part of it. This is a variegated piece. So I'm going to just lay this right alongside it and continue to do the same thing, coming from underneath, pulling it up through the center, and just follow it around. So you want to do at least, I think 3 wraps is what I ended up doing. But this is not an exact science. So here was my beginning. All right, we're just going to continue wrapping around, following the piece that was already there. Bim ba-doom. Bim ba-doom. I'm just going to keep following it around. Coming back up. And all right, so, and you can start to feel as you get more wraps on it, it starts to feel a little more solid. And that's our goal. We want a nice sturdy place for our plant to land. So I'm just gonna go. So here was my start, just to show you there. So I know I've come all the way around. There we go. And I'm just going to trim. And when I cut these, Flo Hoppy always said when you cut round reed, you go with the flow. So pointed end of my scissors go towards the end of the reed. And I'm just laying them kind of flat on there and making a cut. So it makes an angle cut, and it lays pretty well on there. So And then if your beginning is sticking out, you can trim that off as well. Mine haven't ended up laying in there nicely, but I'll say, let me see. Let's see if I can see. I can't see it on that one. But anyway, so that was my start. There's my end. Actually, I'm going to trim that just a little bit more so it's laying flat. There we go. So now it's laying kind of flat right against that reed. So that is our first one. That's the one that's going to end up being on our pot. Our pot will sit in. There we go. That one got a little tight. Okay. Well, that got a little tight on that one. So that's a good um, you want to make sure that as you're wrapping, your center is going to get smaller. So this ended up coming down to about 3 1/8. So that's why it was a little bit smaller. But that's all right. I will make that work. Okay, so now we're going to take our next piece of a round reed, and we want the sides. Let's see, go this. There we go. We want these to be a little bit larger, just aesthetically, to be a little bit larger. So I am going to use my piece that I had there. Let's see. And I am going to just make a circle that's a little bit bigger than that one was. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come from the bottom up and, oops, not get my tape measure in there. There we go. And we're just going to wrap around. We're going to come up from the bottom. And I'm going to just measure this so that when we do our second one, we start with the same diameter. So this one started at about 4.5 inches across. All right. So we're going to come up. We're going to wrap around. There we go. Okay, and we're going to just keep coming up through the center and following it around. Up through the center, follow it up around. Up through the center. All right. So I did this one for a small pot, but you could do it for really for any size pot. You probably for something bigger would want to go with a larger diameter round reed. So again, so that when you make your bottom loop, that it's going to be sturdy and it's going to be strong enough to hold your pot. So, all right, so I think I have enough to go around one more time. Come around. All right, there we go. Okay, so now I'm back at my beginning where that was. So I am, let's see if we can just get these to tuck in. I'm gonna take that tail and just push it under. Take that tail, push it under, and then we're going to trim these guys off. Again, point the end of your scissors towards the end of the reed. Kind of lay it flat. So if you see it from that way, just kind of laying it flat on the reed and cutting. And then it has a nice little kind of lays right in there. And then I'm going to do this one right here. Same thing. So they just lay in there. So that is our second one. So we have our smaller one, and now we have our second one, and we need one more that will be the same size as this. I think this is the hardest part um, of making these, is to make these two larger ones the same size. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna make our circle. I am gonna measure. I said it was about 4.5 inches across. Okay, so it's about the same size. And now we're gonna wrap again. So again, it started at my tail end is on top. My round reed, the long end is underneath, and we're just coming from the bottom. Oops, I said that wrong. Sorry, the other way. My tail is underneath, my other piece is on top, sorry. And then you're gonna come up from the bottom underneath through the center and just wrap around. Okay, so we're gonna continue to do that again. We have that. And as you're doing that, just stop for a second. Can you see how as I start my wrapping, let me lay it. Let me lay it on my hand here. It looks a little bit oblong. So as you are doing this, once you get one row around, the tension should be even on all, and then it rounds back up. So just like to point that out so you're not thinking that you're doing something wrong if it doesn't become a nice flush circle. So once you get that first row or first wrap all the way around, all right, so now we're coming back up, coming down, up through the center, and we're just going to keep going around until we run out of reed again. Just keep going around and around and around. We're just letting it follow itself all the way around. Next, gonna go around one more time here. There. One more time. All right. These are kind of fun to do with variegated reed, but they also be beautiful with just a regular reed. I think I can get one more. So we're gonna go for it. This will be nice and sturdy. And around, and there we are, back to the beginning. And then we're just gonna trim our ends. So again, pointing my scissors towards the end, I'm laying them flat on the ring and giving that a cut. Nice little angle. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay. Let's see how good we did. Oh, those came out really good. Okay, pretty close. Close enough, right? All right, so we have two of our larger rings and we have one of our smaller rings. Just get some of this trash out of the way. Okay. All right. I'm going to use 3 zip ties to start putting it together. Oh, I have these reusable zip ties. These are a pretty cool thing that I've just recently gotten exposed to. So we don't have to cut them off. We can reuse them. Hey, Miss Judy. Hey. Hey. So we have our 2 larger rings and our 1 smaller ring. Again, our smaller ring is going to be our base here. So we're going to um, take a smaller ring and a larger ring, and we're going to just zip tie them together to hold them for so we can put everything together. So I'm just gonna zip tie, and I'm zip tying it so that, come up close, the ring will be inside, um, next to the side ring. So this is the bottom. But when I put this one on, we're going to put it on just like that. So they are both on the outside, and then we'll take the tips and bring those together. So I'm going to do that over here as well. I'm going to put a zip tie on. Kind of get it so it's going to hold it in place. So I got those two. I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to pull the two big ones together. So we're going to bring those together, and I'm going to put a zip tie up here. Okay. So, and I just have it. I'm not actually putting it totally center. I'm just kind of just getting it so it looks good to me. So I'm going to look at it from the side. I'm going to look at it from the bottom, and I'm going to look at it from the top. So make sure it's the shape I like. These guys laying next to each other. All right. So I'm going to grab a piece of my cane that was soaking in the water. Now I'm using 3 mm cane. You can use like a small diameter of reed if you have that. So like 11/64 or 3/16, just something small enough that you're going to be able to wrap with. You can, oops, it came undone there. Get back there. You can do something that's going to be contrasting, or you could do something, if you've got, like if you did all natural, you can make it all natural. So you decide, right? This is part of the design element that you get to do. All right, I'm going to start down here at the bottom. Now that I have the shape that I want, I'm actually going to go ahead and take this zip tie off now. So if you haven't used these removable zip ties or reusable zip ties, I'll just show you that. They have this um, little thing to push, and then it undoes it, and we can reuse it. All right, so I'm going to put it back where I want it. So I'm going to lay, so cane has a shiny side and a non-shiny side. So the shiny side is the shell or the outside of the vine. So if you did not know, cane is the outer part of the vine, and the rattan or the reed is the inner part of the vine that's used. So it's actually from the same vine, but the shiny side is from the outer part of it. Okay, so I'm gonna just lay this down, and we're just going to wrap it. So I'm laying it down with the shiny side against it. I'm going to do, actually, let me do this. I'm going to make a 90-degree turn. Let me just do this so I can show you before I put it on there. So we're just making a 90-degree turn. So now this has got the shiny side out. I'm going to lay it on there. Get all that back up here. And then we're just going to wrap. So we're going to wrap around both those pieces. And as we wrap around, we're going to catch the tail. So let me come up nice and close. So we're going to catch that tail here. And we're just going to wrap around nice and tight, close together. Let me get a few wraps here so you can see and come up close. Okay. So I'm going to do, let's see, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do 8 reps here. You can decide. I would say at least 5. All right, so let me just come up. Here's my first wrap. Doesn't look like it's focusing very well. Okay, here's my first wrap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to bring this back down. I'm going to trim it off. I'm going to make that 90-degree turn again. So let me show you that. And then we're going to take that tail. We're going to cut off the length of that first tail that we had. We hide that. And then we're going to take this tail and we're going to stick it right in between there. Right in between there. There we go. So I'm just tucking it in, tuck it in, tuck it in. There. So that's the bottom. There's what it looks like on top. All right. So we need to do that 2 more times. So I'm gonna take this zip tie off. Now, if you're not comfortable taking the zip tie off, you can leave it on, but leave it like to the side a little bit where you're not wrapping. Or you could take a piece of tape and you could put a piece of tape around where you're going to wrap because it will get covered up with the with whatever you're wrapping with. All right, so we're going to do it again. So I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to make my 90-degree turn and I'm going to wrap nice and tight. And we're going to come around and we're going to do that 8 times again. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Come around. We've got, here's my first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, I'm gonna cut that tail. And I'm gonna make that little 90-degree turn and tuck it up. Now, if it's you're having a hard time tucking, you can use an awl to help make a space. Okay, so there's our bottom 2 wraps. There. So we have to do one more at the top. All right. I'm gonna take that off. Zip ties have done their job. They held it together while we were doing that. So I'm just gonna make sure that I am in a good spot. Right there. Gonna make that 90-degree turn. And we're gonna wrap these guys together. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. All right. Give that a little cut. Sure we are. Whoops. There we go. And again, I'm just going to take it and tuck it in. Just like that. There we go. I wanted to get it flipped. Right. And I don't have an all right here. So just make it go. There we go. Slide it right in there. All right. So for this one, I did it so you could see the ends on top, but if you don't want to see the tucked ends, then you can do the tucks under here. But just it's easier for you guys to see in the demo with it up here. All right. And then you have your plant hanger. And so now you need to decide what you're going to hang it with. Just let them fly out here. No, I guess I didn't. Thought I left some twine out, but so let me just show you. I'm going to use the cane, but what I did to, if you have any hairs, give them a trim. What I did is you're not going to be able to see this with the fishing line, but I'm going to do it with a piece of cane here just so I can show you. So I came between these two that were meeting at up top. So whatever you're going to hang it with, if you bring it up through here and there, and then you can tie it. So let me show you this way so you can see. I wouldn't do it with cane, but I wanted to do that visual for you. The fishing line is too light, you can't see it, but that's it. So I came up, basically came up alongside both sides here, and then you can tie a knot here to bring whatever you're going to use together, and then just make a loop. So let me see. Let me do a quick look here to see if I have something I can show you that with. How about, how about, how about a piece of suede? Let's do that, just so I can show you. Okay. Obviously, I wouldn't use purple with this, but that's what I had handy there. So you're going to take whatever you're going to take. You're going to bring it up on either side. So let me come up nice and close. So coming up on either side here. And then if you want, you can tie a knot here. If you want to, you can tie a knot there. And that will hold it in place. And then just with whatever you're doing, just take your ends and make a slip knot at the other end. There we go. Boom, boom. So a little slip knot. So now you can hang it like that. All right, so once you have everything, let me come back to my original one because that one it's a little bit tight. The way you hang, out of the way, is you just stick your pot in between. This works really nice for plants that hang over. So like a spider plant or anything that kind of ivy, anything that kind of hangs. All right, I'm going to come back to this view for a moment. There we go. There we go. So you put it in and there you go.
Hmm, that's pretty cool.
Just kind of something fun. I saw it out on, I don't remember, out on YouTube or Pinterest. I saw one. I was like, ah, that just looks like fun. We could do that. So again, you can make them any size. So I used 3 pieces of 6 foot reed to do the, what did I say? These were 4.5 inch starts. And I think this one was 3.5, the smaller one. So you would just need to adjust the length of your reed depending on how big you want to make them. So that's what I have for today. All right, Denise, let's see how you're doing. All right, oh, beautiful. Ooh, I like that colors.
Let's
Nice.
see.
Oh,
I'm not done
oh,
lashing yet, but
Yeah.
She
Oh,
works.
I like it. Is that a gourd or is that a pot?
No, it's a hand thrown clay pot
Okay. Beautiful.
that broke, and I pieced it back together.
There you go.
Because that's yeah.
That's what we do.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very cool. I see more of these in my future.
Yeah, I thought they were fun and they're pretty quick to make and um they don't all have to be the same, like colors. Like you could make your loops all different colors, right? Doesn't, right? This is where your imagination comes. Yeah, so that's what I have. So, all right, so you're working on yours. All right, Judy. Ooh, let's see what you've been working
Oh,
on.
these are just bread baskets. I've been they have a little hole here in the corner to
For the napkins
put your napkin at. So
or
Oh,
bandana.
I've taught that a couple of times this week, and this is a very old gnarly Zanger kit that I brought with me to
wow.
Oh, the
to
moth. Yes, very
finish
nice.
up. And he had one of those really nice pigtail handles, hand carved pigtail handles.
Uh-huh.
And I decided that I was not going to put it on this. I'd rather put it on something else.
There you go. All right. Well,
So
the
anyhow, that's
braided
what
seagrass looks nice on there
yeah, I like it. I've started using that pretty much on just about everything.
for your rim.
So yeah, I just prefer it. It's a nice, it, it comes in really nice and it just adds a almost like a personal touch to the basket to me.
Yeah,
So
that's
anyhow, I've
awesome.
used a lot of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for
Good.
sharing.
That's all I have.
All right. Let's see, Denise, you have anything to share for today?
No, I haven't been working on anything.
Okay, okay. Well, I don't.
It's like garden season, so
Oh, there you go. So you need a gardening basket.
I do. A big one, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything new to show. I have been working on cleaning out my studio so you guys can see that's normally where my color wall is, my read
Okay.
over here and behind me. So I'm working, I've gotten a lot of it out. I still got some more to move out, and then I'm rethinking how my space is going to lay out. So we're doing that. But I have a class on Friday, so everything needs to be done by Friday. But it was time for a deep clean. What I was noticing, like behind all the reed where I can't get to it, just the dust from the reed. I was noticing like along the edges of the right here, like it was getting yucky. Not good. So good spring cleaning time. So that's what I've been working on. I'm finding lots of stuff and I'm trying to decide what I'm going to keep in here, what I'm going to move inside. I have um my basement, I have a lot of stuff, but our front room, so it's just Ed and I, and we right, we don't need a living room and a dining room and a den and a sunroom and all those spaces. So
Oh,
the front room has been that was my studio before I built this space. So I still have some stuff there and we still do stuff in there. So now we're trying to figure out what's going to be in there, what's going to be out here. Try to make it a pleasurable place to be weaving. So yeah.
well, it
So
looks good. Now, are you painting? This is fresh paint, isn't it?
it's not. So when did we build the studio? In 20? I think it was in
Wow,
2020. So yeah,
it looks
no,
good. It
you just
looks
haven't seen
good.
it because it's been hidden.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. Nice color. So that's what Ed said. He said, you painted these beautiful walls and then you covered them up. You couldn't see them.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it happens. It happens.
it
So
happens. It happens.
it
So,
does. It does.
good luck. I'm sure you'll get it done.
That's my goal. It's got to be ready for Friday. So class for
Oh,
Friday. I have people here. So, yep.
you know, thank
All right.
you.
You guys have a fantastic
Thank
week.
you.